Welcome to Radio Fixer's channel. Subscribe for upcoming videos. This is episode 3 of the repair and restoration of a very unique 1965 Master Art AM telephone star radio. In this episode, I will focus on repairing the badly damaged handset and building a replacement handset holder for this radio. I will also demonstrate how parts can be repaired and fabricated the old-fashioned way without a need for a 3D printer. Stay tuned, enjoy the video. And to make your job easier to find all these videos per category, select playlist, and each categories are located right here. Also, I have added every tool product that I'm using in the description section of the video, so feel free to check it out. I highly recommend watching the previous episode where we identified the problem and used homemade tools such as a single tracer and audio signal injector to troubleshoot and repair the radio. Let's work on this badly damaged headset. I use this product, which I'm going to add to the description section of the video to repair mine. This is the aluminum adhesive tape that you can cut the small pieces to use this. This is what I used. But also you have an option to use any type of plastic because epoxy does not stick with the plastic or aluminum, but will stick with everything else. You can use this, cut the small pieces. Since the headset is like a bell design, you cannot use a big piece, you have to use a small piece. For mine, I use 4 different pieces. Or you can use something like this, something that is strong enough and thick enough that you can wrap it around it, but again you have to cut it, piece by piece. You have to do gradually, build it one level at a time. Let me show you what I did, all right? As a matter of fact, if you see, this is what I did. Start from here. You see the crack? Here, there. Start gradually, I went up. You cannot do one piece since it has a curve, so you cannot do one piece. You have to go with one piece, fill it up from inside. When it dry, remove it, move to the next section and the next section. It's going to be 3 or 4 different times. You have to put epoxy. Alright, I'm working on this. I already fixed from here up to here. Now I put this piece together. I'm going to finish here. Already mixed the epoxy. I'm going to fill up the gap here. And I'm using 6-minute epoxy so it dries fast. See, I'm building it up, all those cracks. The good thing about this epoxy, it will level by itself. You don't want to put too much, just enough that it fill the area. Of course, I always can sand the extra off as well too, but it's easier to remove it now. Use my finger because it's not totally dry. You can form it. Make sure it's covered everywhere. So you see I filled that area. So now I'm going to wait until it dry. Then I remove this. Then I can sand it. I can take this off now. See, remove this. Anything is doable as long as you're willing to say take some time. So you see all this? This is the first epoxy that I put. I filled out this area up to here. That's the second one. This is the third one. And this is the fourth one. Of course, after it's totally dry, then I can sand it. The good thing about this epoxy, you can actually sand them. So all this piece was missing, as you see where the epoxies are. All this was missing, all here. Include a piece of here in the top. as you saw, was filling it up. From here to here, a piece was missing. And the good thing again about this epoxy, you can put layer and layer, you know, there's no issue with that. Some area here, I might put some little more epoxy, then sand it. Okay, let it dry, then I will show you after sanding it. Okay, let's pursue. Let me show you where we are up to now. Of course, this is the second coat that I'm going to show you what product I used. This was the first one. As you see, all this gray area, this was repaired with that BJ epoxy, 2 parts. I let it dry overnight. I sanded. It's pretty smooth. Some area, you know, has some imperfection. Since this is a bell curve, you know, it's much tougher to do this. So the second layer, you have an option. You can use this product, which I will add in the description of this video. This is epoxy putty. You can use that, or you can use this. That's what I use. This is also a clay putty. You mix it A and B, and that's what I used, you know, to put here. So I show you that that clay putty also will work with other epoxy. It holds very well. I already sanded. As you see, it's very smooth. I'm going to spray this with a primer and let the primer dry. Then I have to sand the primer, of course. If there is any more imperfection, I need to fix that at that time and paint it. So it's coming along. I sand all this, as you see, so when I prime it, can stick to this material. Again, this is like a curve like this. You see, it's like a bell. It's the toughest to do this, but you have to do at least 3 steps. All right? If you have any question, add in the comment. I'll be glad to answer your question. But that is the process that you take to fix something like this. All right? Hopefully this will help you to repair anything that you have plastic is broken. This is the best way to do it. Follow the process that I went through and you're going to get a good result. All right? I add this video series here. Feel free to check it out. I use the same type of technique that I'm showing you here, but in more detail. The next thing I need to work on this, you know, the holder where actually hold this to the radio, it was missing when I purchased it. So I need to create something like this. I have another phone radio, Glide Country Bell radio, which I'm also working on that one as well. That for the Glide, they have something like this. This is not belong to this radio. This is belonging again to another radio that I have. First, I was thinking to cast something like this, you know, to make a mold and pull it with resin. But the issue, see, it does not fit here. You see that? It does not fit. So I have to create something this myself. If this fit, I could duplicate this, but since it doesn't fit, I have to create something like this. But at least it's going to give me some idea of what I need to design. Let me think about this. What's the best way to handle this? Believe me, I went to the hardware stores. I've checked online for hours and hours, cannot find anything like this. They have U-shaped hook, but they're much larger, and this is not going to work. I wish I could buy one and just install it. That could make the job much easier, right? But hey, let's see if we can create something like this, all right? I got a piece of just a wire like that. See, it's just a small wire. So let's see if I can create something like this. All right? That's what the goal is. I'm gonna maybe bend that here in the middle, like that. Find something like this. I think this might work. So we want to bend this right here. So let's cut this here. Alright, next I got a wire like this. It should be a solid wire. As your whole insulation needs to come off. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with this. So you take all the insulation off like this. I'm going to wrap this. I'm going to show you later why. See, both of them are wrapped. I find a screw like this. That's perfect. That's how much I want to this stay out. All right, just fit perfect. All right, I'm gonna put a washer here. There's a piece of wood. All right, I got this product here. Is epoxy clay. I'm gonna add this to description. Feel free to check it out. This is for the clay molding. Is epoxy. It's a two-part, the A and B. You need to add them together, same size. Make sure to wear gloves. You don't want to touch this without gloves. You mix them like this. Make sure it makes pretty good. The good thing about this, you can form it, you can sand it. Alright, as you notice, I brought this outside the house. You do not want to sand this inside the house. So I'm going to start, using 220 to sand it, trying to get it in a better shape. I'm using the bottom of this paintbrush, they take the wood off like this. Usually I hold on to them for this type of work. I'm going to wrap this around this sandpaper so I can sand inside. Alright? These are a good paintbrush. I'm going to put it in the description of this video as well. When I stain or paint, of course I keep here for this type of reason. I use them all the time for different projects. Alright, I primed this. After you priming, you will see the imperfection area. You see like that? So I need to again sand it, then prime it again, and make sure this does not show. This side is fine. I did that a couple of times, it's fine. Now I need to focus right here in this area. Let me try that outside the house. I just brought it in to show it to you. This one, again, after priming it, I find some dent area. I already filled them up with the same epoxy. Now the next thing is just sand it lightly, then spray it with a primer to see if I catch all the imperfection area. Currently this works pretty well. You see? Like that. It holds very well. And it is flexible. See that? So let me work on that and get back with you guys. Just want to show you, I brought them inside just to show you, the process you have to go through to finish this. I know some people might say, Jay, why don't you use 3D printers? I mean, that's a good question, be honest with you. But not that many people can afford 3D printers. But I'm trying to teach here to a brand new person that actually you can fix this without having expensive equipment. Use the old techniques to fix things before 3D printer. Before 3D printer we didn't have that, so we had to figure out how to fix things in our own. So I'm trying again to share this with a brand new person who just got started and they are not in the position to spend a lot of money, but they like to learn the process. And for some of you, you'd like to know how all this thing built before 3D printer, right? We had to do all this crazy stuff Sometimes you couldn't find the stuff, so you had to create it yourself. Hopefully all this thing gonna help you. It really is a great hobby. I suggest very highly, if you haven't started already, get it started. Hey, you will learn through the process, right? And we are all in learning process, that's we are helping each other. Anyway, let me take care of this and we'll get back with you. All right, this is the end result. Looking good, looking good. That's how it holds. You can just pull it out like this. And it, of course, it's holded pretty well. I'm going to take this wood out. You see, this is going to be screwed in the radio, and it can hold it very well. This is a little flexible. The reason I want this to be flexible, so it'll be easy to take it out and install in it like that. That's why I use the process to do this. Not bad at all. It's looking very good, as you can see. I use a flat black paint. Originally it was shiny and it was like plastic. I didn't like that. I want to paint it with the flat paint so it matched the rest of the radio. So let me install it. I'm happy with the end result. I know you could do all this with 3D printer, but I do not have the 3D printer. I'll be honest with you, I enjoy most to create it the old-fashioned and instead let the machine do the job. By this way, I get more satisfaction of fixing something, creating something, by hand. So anybody can do it. I enjoy creating things like this. I will stop here to keep this video from getting too long. In the next episode, we will add Bluetooth capabilities so we can listen to the music of our choice, since AM does not offer that many stations. We also install an external antenna for better AM reception. And finally, we're going to reassemble the radio and testing it. So stay tuned for the next video. At this time, I want to take the opportunity and thank my subscribers with their uplifting comments. You always encourage me to upload more videos, since this is just a hobby of mine. Again, I appreciate you. Enjoy all these videos, and you all have an awesome day. Take care. If you're interested to see more videos like this, feel free to subscribe to my channel, and you will be notified when new video being uploaded. You have a great day.